Hey everyone, I'm Vicky slash Cornmandog, and I'm here on behalf of Studio Wife and Cornmandog, a team that made this game. I write games, not tragedies. And yes, that is a Panic at the Disco reference. And now, let's have a look. So, I Write Games Not Tragedies is a rhythm game, and it comes with a very cohesive storyline that bridges the different rhythm levels together. And you can choose from story mode, you can also choose from music mode, and there aren't a lot right now. So story mode is for people who are really invested in this coming of age story, and music mode is for people who are desperate to try the music. So we're gonna go through from story mode today, and we begin with a laptop, which I recently just made this for the show. And what we have here is a monologue from Ash, who is going to be revealed as the main character later. And looking at these monologues, you also realize he's actually referring to his past self as in the present. And he talked about things like how it was so much easier for him to vent about all of the things that frustrated him when he was younger. And these are some of the you see some of the flashing art around that kind of show how he feels as well. And all of this is kind of like a fever dream as well. And when you're done with the monologue, you have the option to go back in time, and that is the only option, to go back in time. And bam, we're in bedroom in the 2000s, and we start with Ash talking about how like him complaining about life. Mom's banned him from the computer until Friday, yada yada da. And this is where you can start exploring. So he talks about how he likes darkness. He calls his mom a B word, and he complains about homework and school, how pointless education is. And we get to look into his diary as well, which is my personal favorite part. And by the way, I did all of these arts. And he has a best friend who he also ran about on his diary. And he rants about the popular kids in the diary as well, particularly this person named Aid. But like, it's all kind of refreshing for him to hang out with people that doesn't really belong in the same social group with him. When we're finished interacting, we get to put on our headphones. So whenever Ash sees the headphone, that's actually cue for us to go into a rhythm level. And what these rhythm levels are representing is the visualization of catharsis that these music can do to us. So every time when you hit onto the lyrics, there's like, so these are like feelings of sparkle for when you know a song, the lyrics just really resonate with you. There's like this sense of sparkling, and you just felt so spoken, so represented at that moment. And I think like this is this is what all of these tacky effects are about. Oh, and these are my favorite parts. So you get to scream voices. Sorry, I should have stayed more further away from the microphone. And well, I didn't get it all. Voices, voices. Okay, so this is not taking. Oh, I'm doing such a terrible job at my own game. And until you paint it black. No, none of my voice are recorded in it. But it's okay. It's okay. This game is all about embracing failures. And we're going into new events. So Ash finally got permission from his mom to go to a concert of his favorite emo band back in the 2000s. And again, there he goes complaining about Katie, his best friend. And surprisingly, the popular dude from class 8 was there as well. And this is when things start to change a little bit. So this scenario is actually depicting a very stereotypical archetype in like media, mostly stories that the popular kid just is surprisingly so nice actually. And Julia from Studio Wife and I are massive fan of cliche plots like this. And so the two of them actually just start bonding over liking the same band, and also Ash being surprised how this blonde hair guy also likes an emo band called Suffocate Me Dry, and he likes to cry to music as well, and and he's just such a genuine and nice guy to him as well. And they're just having such a great time that A then invited Ash to stay a bit longer. So to us, this is apparently like, you know, a part in the coming age story where you start delve into sexuality a little bit, that, you know, you feel like, oh, there's actually some kind of sparkles that you don't know how to describe as well. And the story of Aid and Ash is showing that there are these things happening in our younger lives that can just be really surprising. And now we kind of lapse into a scene in the future where he compares the first time he drank and his later on alcoholic self. So this is actually a foreshadowing into the later on narrative and rhythm level. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, that the two of them were just having such a great time. They were both a little bit drunk and tipsy, and they missed the last train to go back home. Oh, by the way, context: they're living in suburb UK, so missing the train basically means they have no other ways to get home, and they have no other choice but for Aid to call Dad. And this is where Ash is trying to keep his cool together and yeah, definitely freaking out. And then we go into the car where Aid's dad is giving the two of them a hard time. And so I think this scene's is actually really hilarious. And shout out to Julia who did all of the writing. It's just incredible to look at every time. And even though experience all of this embarrassment, it doesn't really break the bond apart. And I think that's also what teenage years is all about, being embarrassed by our parent, and then they get into a little bit, and that actually pull them together closer. So we're about to end this era and go into a time skip where we start with nausea. So as we keep exploring the scene, actually, when you click on a diary, you realize that's 2017 now. And this is where Ash is in his about to go into his mid-20s and first into the corporate world, where he's gotten where he just never he just couldn't pull himself together. And also, this is a very dark era of him where he actually developed alcoholism due to work stress and not being too social competent in a corporal situation. Like, again, it's still kind of like his teenage self where he complains about stuff on diary, but now there's also complaints about bills, and he also smokes in the balcony, and he doesn't. So you can also see it's kind of an apartment where it's really not in good shape. And I think the change in colors from those bright colors into a more dull tone really shows what kind of transition he's going through. And also his life is just in a complete mess right now, that he doesn't even remember why he was in bed with a coworker, and he's anxious about that. And there's garbage everywhere. And this is actually bridging us into the next song, which again, shout out goes to the artist The Lonely Harps Club. And it's a to me, I wouldn't be the best person to talk about this song, but like, I feel like it's just such a great fusion between the British and the Japanese drinking culture, where they use drinking as like a social lubricant to help them fit in and help them to get in and out of situations. So again, we incorporate some karaoke elements in this. So you have to say, drink! And you see, like, the lyrics are kind of less explosive compared to the previous song, where it's more about, oh, everything is so unfair when you're younger. And I feel like in this scene, it's more about, oh, I'm so limited, like I can't help but to start falling and to self-destruct. Like you just have no other choices. And what we bridge immediately afterward is the most current, the Ash in the most present era, where he isn't in the best shape or state, but he tried to get better. He goes to therapy. He tried to not sink back into alcohol when things doesn't work out. And if you remember a girl named Katie, you'll find that we're actually going into a scene where there's an MA show that Katie happened to be in for the course that she did. And also this is like a little meta feature that Julia decided to put in, because when we did this game, we were also doing our master. We were also preparing for our graduation show, and we were also anxious, frustrated about it, that we want to include that kind of scenario in our game. And let's go into the gallery and have a look. So in here, there's some artwork that obviously we made up to make it look like it's an MA Fine Arts show. But actually, every single artwork has like a little bit of meaning with what it means to us as developers, and also what it means to Ash for his story. So this work is about the lingering toward nostalgia, and this is just a pile of sticks. No other words. There's a pile of sticks in every MA show. And this is Katie's work, where she she's now a mom and also doing her MA Fine Art course at the same time, and it made Ash tear up a little bit. And then looking at the final work that's named Catharsis, it got him into some kind of it got him into thinking about himself as well. And just before he was about to put on the headphone to listen to the audio component that comes with the art, and we see 8 again, who's now much older than he was that we last saw him. So when we were showing this game, some of the people were like actually really kind of anticipating a romantic connection or a storyline between Aid and Ash in other period of this game, but we decided to like not include any of that. Like, it's just like these two persons are completely out of touch, because I think that actually resembles reality sometimes, that, you know, people just don't keep in touch for such a long time, and one day they just bump into each other, but there's still no barriers between them. Like, their communication can still be as smooth as they last met. And I think that's a good way for us to put that music really bond them together. And that's how I felt with some of my friends as well, that, you know, when we find a resonation in music, you know, it just really make it harder for us to separate. And the last option that you get to say to A before you say your goodbye, these are all lyrics from emo songs from the 2000s, and my favorite is So Long Goodnight from Helena, My Chemical Romance. Our game is gonna be available on Steam soon, and it will be approximately February this year. Yeah, so the page is already live on Steam. So please go and look for I Write Games Not Tragedies and wishlist it. Yeah, and hopefully we'll get to let you guys see it on Steam before Valentine's Day. Yeah.